All right, I want to thank Casey for videotaping this game and also doing a live streaming at the same time. I'm sure that's not the easiest thing to be able to maneuver, but he does a very good job, and it provides us with this. So basically, if you can take a look at the recap that I wrote, and a lot of what I said sort of will translate directly right here. Uh, I was under the impression we really dominated this half. I think after watching this video, I think my view was maybe slightly on the optimistic side or really positive side, because it feels like when I watch it a little more even. But what I felt was that we massively closed the gap on this team in the first half in terms of how we could hurt them. And really, I think what you see in this first half is most of the real positive play is coming from us. I think they reacted well to what we brought, but I do think that we were the ones sort of on the front foot for the first half. So, looking at that Wheat Ridge game we played a couple weeks ago to now, you can already see some of the spacing is way better here. You can see Bo standing right at the top of the circle. He's the left back, but he is in the right place, and now he can shift. And if we keep pressure on the ball, he gets there, we're able to go ahead and just win it. And we find out that teams who, a team that ends up beating us 5-0, they're really not special if we do the right things and if we do them correctly. So you'll just see really good pressure on the ball in this half, right there, getting it ahead, winning it, having some composure to relax and find a pass, and then try a through ball. We're offside right there, but if we're offside, that means we're attacking. It does not mean that we are under pressure defending. So these are the kinds of situations that are okay, and if they get a set piece, well, let's just make sure we win it back, not let them out, and then go ahead and try and rebuild and attack. I think once again, great quality there, just taking one touch to bring it down, quickly finding somebody, and we're off and away. And here, I'm not having to yell at the back line to push up. Like, we look really, really well balanced. And again, pressure on the ball causes teams to make mistakes. And it is kind of shocking when you think that we lost this game 5-0. But a lot of what we did really well in this half, we sort of just took off a little bit in the second, and we were pretty brutally punished for it. But it's a great lesson, and every single game we've been handed a lesson like that, but every game I think we are improving, and so it's only a matter of time before it starts to work out. Again, we win the ball in the middle, we have good, Ronan's in a good position to be able to make a run, it's a good through ball, and here I'm saying don't let it out, they're in their corner, can we make sure we keep it here? Yes, good, again, this is our left back pressuring at the top of their box, and then we can use, our wide players to try and be creative and to create opportunities. Like here, Ronan's just go ahead and dribbling through guys and trying to get us into a dangerous position. And all this pressure leads to Tanner hitting the bar because he's able to come up and join the attack. And I mean, there's one kid on the other team that was more than 30 yards away from their goal. Everyone else was packed into their 18. Not easy to score against that kind of a block, but if we're putting them under that kind of pressure, it does say something about the direction of the game and the overall flow of the play. Again, good positioning to stop a counterattack. That is right there one of those plays that sometimes that in the second half ended up just turning into a goal because we weren't positioned correctly to block through balls, to stop players dribbling all the way through our midfield. Really good bravery from Cohen. Something I'm trying to get the goalkeepers to do is really come out of their box, get way away from their goal when the ball's on the opposite side of the field, because a lot of breakaways, that they have to deal with just come from a big ball over the top. And if they're high enough up the field, they can clean it up like a sweeper keeper, basically. Um, Something that right there Cohen did. And the more confidence they get being outside of their goal to deal with problems before they arise, it'll help everyone. It'll give the rest of the back line some confidence that they can let balls go over the top of them, knowing that they've got support. And so right here, I'm getting on Eamon about this because right in that space, just in front of our two center backs, there was nobody. And one of their players was able to receive the ball, dribble into that space, and take a shot. You know, we have short goalkeepers. We can't be letting kids, especially a team like this that can hit a ball, we can't be letting kids like this just tee up on us from 25 yards out. We can't do that. And we'll see that's, you know, the goal comes from them having a free shot. Yes, it's a foul, but we can't play with fire like that. So important to be in the right positions. And you see how in the last couple minutes here, they've started to put some pressure on us. But if we're able to weather the storm, then we're fine. And it may not be easy for us to get out of our own half, but that doesn't mean we have to feel under immense pressure defensively. This is one of those weird sections of a game where it's just all about, can you find the open person with just one touch of quality? I mean, that was, what, 15, 20 seconds of just, you know, pinball. One person able to just pick their head up and find the pass into space to an open player. And also important that we have an open player. Ronan had to keep that space and stay stretched out and not go and decide to get involved in the play. And that's what makes it so that now, instead of battling in our midfield, we're able to try and defend from here. Really good support. Again, that's Eamon in the right position, able to block somebody who's about to dribble all the way through our midfield. But pressure on the ball is slow there, and we let that guy turn and nick it forward, and all of a sudden we're dealing with this. So, you know, as a team, we're going to have to deal with that this season. We're going to play kids that are fast, and they prey on us being 1 second too slow and just not paying attention while a throw-in is being taken. So that's what that's really the thing we need to fix and figure out. So this is a foul. It's the right call, but it does give them a pretty scary opportunity. And here is where the goal comes from. It's an unsavable shot. For Cohen, there's no way he's going to get to this one. It's a really good strike, high up in the goal. It's got power. And these are things that are going to happen. Fouls happen. You try to get the ball, you don't get it. But to be honest, this is what I made a youth career of until goalies could touch the crossbar. I was taking shots from 25 yards out. Any free kick within 30 yards. I just knew if I put it high, hard, and on target, it was in. There's no way keepers were saving those. So that's one of those things. You just have to accept that that's just going to happen. And we may just be giving up goals like that throughout the season because every team will. It's can we avoid the other ones? So a good question is, how do you react after you get scored on? And I think we reacted well. We didn't fall apart. We kept doing good things. Again, here, look at our balance overall. It's pretty good. You know, we have players all in positions to be able to win the ball. We're able to get out of the midfield with some good skill and some penetrating running, good dribbling. And you can see, I mean, we've got Eamon sitting in front of the back four. No one's really wide open. I have to applaud that kid for putting his head on the ball. It's brave. Something we need to get a little bit better at, just being brave with balls in the air. I'm not necessarily saying we have to head everything. Still small kids, you know, but there is a need to be brave to get underneath the ball in some way. I don't care if you knee it or whatever, but we have to be able to get under it. And again, here, this is great quality play. It's very good quality. There's no reason for us to, you know, wonder whether or not we're good enough to beat these kinds of teams. If you look at the patterns of play that each team brings to the table, they get the ball wide and start running, they're dangerous. Those are the two places, the two wings are where they have been able to pressure us. We've had more joy on our left side than our right side, and that's sometimes the way the game is played. It just ends up being sometimes more on one side than another, which is why you know, Mason, who started the game, barely touched the ball in the first half. And that wasn't his fault. It was just it very rarely went to that side of the field.
That way you're away. Once you're going up the line like that, the guy who's on you won't be able to see the ball. The first touch comes in this way, and then we're trying to do outside.
And so right there, that's another situation where ball came in the air, bounced. You know, we jump in the air and try to karate kick it, miss it. Their player reads it a little bit better and is able to maybe give it a nudge past our support defender. It's a really silly way to give up a chance. I think one really, really good rule of thumb is don't just jump in the air, leave your feet, and try and get it with your feet. Okay? If you're leaving your feet, it's because you're heading the ball or chesting the ball to be able to control it and get it away. You're not jumping to karate kick it. That's very dangerous, and this is a ridiculously high probability of missing the ball. Again, we lose the ball. They're able to get through the middle. Ball goes wide. This kid's streaking up the line. And this is the thing. In the first half, we defended these situations well at every stage that we could, right? If we didn't do well at stopping them from getting out of their defensive third and getting into the middle, sometimes we'd stop them in the middle. Sometimes they get through and they'd, you know, get down the field a good ways. But again, we were able to, for the most part, stop them at some step of the way and not let them all the way through. See Luke with good patience on the ball. Doesn't have to play one or two touch. And here we go. Now we can try and build. And once again, you look at Mason here. He's wide open. I mean, we can use our speed out wide, not by giving it to guys and having them dribble, but by controlling the ball in the midfield and spraying diagonals to the wide areas. again, a ball bounces. It's okay that we bounce to maybe let it bounce to help it go forward, but we have to be able to get on the ball. You know, if after it bounces once or twice, if the other team is the one getting it, you know, it just comes back at us. So really, on punts, we've got to figure out a way to make sure we get underneath it and that we support around the ball to make sure that they don't get a chance to just kick it back in our face. And the good thing about here is this: we're putting pressure on the ball at every step. We didn't let any actual good quality shot. Every quality strike of the ball that they had got blocked. And that's great. I mean, if you ask the goalkeeper at this stage how he feels, does he feel nervous that we're about to give up a goal? You know, Cohen felt pretty good when I talked to him at halftime. And, you know, once again, we're building out pretty well. Our patterns of play they don't fall apart throughout this first half. That's what I was really proud of, is that even when we had to battle through 5 minutes of difficulty, we did well to resettle in the game, get some space, try and find some passes. And not everything was super successful. That happens. And so right there, what I'm saying is, it's like we were one step slow on the pressure every step of the way in there, and that's why I was starting to get concerned, is because if that ball had been a better one, we would have been in trouble. And it was just so unfortunate because we're so close to nicking the ball, and it just takes putting in a harder tackle and making a point to slow the guy down. Right there, I think there's no reason to let the guy turn and start dribbling. That's giving him way too much respect. And then he's able to find an easy pass, and so we didn't really force him to show what he's really got. This is great pressure on the ball. Don't let them out. If it's scruffy up here, that's okay. When we can get it, if we can find a good pass, if we can build, we'll probably get a good chance to score.
Tanner, get back, Tanner. Come on, you two.
Yeah, out for the throw.
Just keep it.
So like, this is where we need to support. We need to make sure we get up, help him, make sure he's got some easy options. But we just have to be a little bit cleaner there in that possession. I mean, it's a great opportunity, right? And our center forward did exactly right by holding the ball and making sure he didn't turn it over. And we're a little bit lucky here that Mason went and really, really fought to win that ball back and go down the line against two guys and get us a throw.
Good stuff, Jordy.
Again, can we keep it? This is really nice play. Again, just keeping the ball, waiting for a good opportunity. And I have to say, this team, defensively, they were good. I mean, they did not give us anything easy. You know, it's been difficult to get proper shots. You know, Tanner's off the bar. It's probably the only real shot we've had at this point. And then here's another lesson right here on the corners, that comes from the corners. But if you notice, they actually won all 3 of the corners that we took in the first half. They were the ones that got to the ball first. If we can get to the ball first, we can score in those situations. So we really need to value those. So I think right there is exactly what their game plan is. When they get it, it's switch it as fast as possible. And I mean, that's my game plan in a lot of ways too, but I want us to do it by not just whacking it to the other side of the field, hoping that we're faster than them, which is what I noticed they were doing for a lot of the first half. Once they got space to play in the second half, they looked a much better team. They looked someone, like a team that's actually coached versus just told to battle. But we reduced them to a different type of team in the first half.
Not sure what the call was. He hit the referee, so it'd be a drop ball.
You cannot be ahead of the ball.
So that's one of those things. We've got players. Tanner plays on the right. He'll play on the wing and do really well out there as well. But sometimes we need to shift things around, and to see, our back four needs to be pretty consistently solid. These boys know what to do. They know how to play the game, but it's very important that if they're playing in the center, that they understand that you cannot just run around everywhere like an all-action kid looking for the ball. You have to hold your position because you are guarding the most dangerous place on the field. And this is an example of we can pick the ball up in midfield, and if we drive down the line, we can carry the ball way down and now create an opportunity where we can build a chance. Right? We have a corner kick again. And so here, throughout the first half, I kept telling kids, get in the box, go score a goal, get in front of the goal, I want you to score. We don't get to that ball first either. And we will get better at these things over the course of the season. We do practice set pieces. Yesterday we did a lot of crossing and finishing, and I saw some excellent goals, some excellent crosses. Graham had a couple really nice headers during training. So, there's definitely, we're going to get better at it. But you can see how big of a difference it makes if you want to get to the ball first. Not just on corner kicks, like I've also set off with punts or clearances through the midfield. You have to want to be the first one to the ball for the basic, simple reason that you want to get it going in the direction you need it to go.
Mason, you're good. Keep going back. Just know about him. If the ball goes to him, it's you the pressure. Luke, stop. Okay, I don't mind. Good. Hey! Great stuff, Burgundy! Way to push up,
Outside
gentlemen.
call, back line pushed up. And they played it back.
Cohen's absolutely right. Sorry, Casey is absolutely right there. The back line, our defenders pushed up right when the corner went short and left their other guy offside. It's clever, and that's something we've talked about a little bit, not much. So I was very pleased and impressed to see them do that.
Pressure on the ball, boys. Well done, Mason. Stay with it, Mason. No cross, dude. Yes!
So right here, I think we're doing a great job of defending and winning the ball back, but every time we do something weird. I think, Mason's trying to meg a guy, to nutmeg somebody on the sideline in the corner, and then Ball comes to Jack, and he tries to let it come across his body so that he can dribble out. You know, we've got to make slightly better decisions in this part of the field when we do work so hard to win the ball back. So that's the first half. I'm going to end the video here. I don't think it's totally necessary for us to go through the second half because I've addressed the things that really led to us getting scored on. And you can see, you know, this game is a very perfect example of when we do small details pretty well, we're in a game. You know, we build up well. We need to be a little bit more aggressive in the box, in our attacking box to get some goals. But this was really good. I was really pleased with the boys at halftime, and it's unlucky it went so south afterwards.